City merged with Canyons a decade ago to form the largest resort by skiable acres in the US. The resort receives over 355 inches of snow each year and has an impressive 7,300 acres of skiable terrain. The resort indicates only 8% beginner terrain, but a large portion of the intermediate trails meander through the colony, or are valley trails that are not overly challenging. They also indicate 50% of the terrain is advanced, but a significant portion of the technical terrain requires a hike to access. The Park City base is the town of Park City, and it's possible to ski right into Old Town, while the Canyons base area is a more typical ski village base area.
Park City has a beginner zone at the base, while the Canyons High Meadows learning area is at Mid-Mountain. Both mix learners with general ski traffic. The resort does have some separation of intermediate and advanced zones, but there is a lot of intermingling of skiers of all abilities across the resort, which allows skiers to explore most of the mountain. Park City is a vast, spread-out resort that can take days to explore and even longer to get familiar with. The terrain and facilities will suit confident skiers who are ready to tackle intermediate terrain and intermediate skiers who like to roam a resort and find new challenges.
Getting to Park City is roughly an hour's drive from Salt Lake City Airport on interstate highways. Check UDOT for traffic and road conditions before you leave Salt Lake City. There is public transport from the airport to Park City and numerous private transfer options from the airport to and from your accommodation. If you're driving, we'd recommend a four-wheel or all-wheel drive, and you'll need winter tires as required by Utah law.
Weekend traffic is an issue, so consider this when planning your trip. Try to avoid arriving early Saturday morning or returning to Salt Lake City on a Sunday afternoon. Canyons has the only free parking, which fills up quickly on weekends, while parking at Park City is all paid parking. The parking situation is constantly evolving at Park City, so check online before your visit.
The base areas are welcoming and have all required facilities, including tickets, rentals, lockers, and ski school. There is lift access from the middle of Old Town Park City, while the main base is a large village with a skate rink. The Canyons Village is a large single-level area with a central open-air stage. Both base areas have plenty of restaurants and bars, providing an après vibe, plus some retail outlets for any gear and equipment needs you may have. Day visitors using the free parking at Canyons will need to ride the cabriolet up to the base village.
There are on-mountain food options across the resort. Miners Camp is a new lodge using a familiar epic resort design. Summit Lodge is a smaller venue with outdoor seating, great when the weather is good. Mid-Mountain Lodge is sheltered in a valley spread over multiple levels, and it also has an outdoor area. Tombstone Barbecue brings the food truck vibe to the slopes and tends to have a buzz all day long. Sun Lodge has lots of seating and is nestled in the valley, great for escaping the weather on windy days. Cloud Dine is surprisingly busy considering its location, while Lookout Cabin is a small venue perched on the ridge.
Let's get to the skiing. Park City is a resort that will suit intermediate skiers who enjoy an adventure. Beginners will need to level up if they want to take advantage of what the resort has to offer, while advanced skiers need to ride slow, fixed grips, or hike if they want to get away from the crowds.
For the beginner, the First Time lift provides access to First Time, a gentle green away from the crowds. Those ready to venture up the mountain can try gentle greens like Claim Jumper or long meandering trails like Home Run. On the canyon side of the resort, High Meadow Park provides a learning area mid-mountain with a few trails like Mellow Moose and Alley Cat, but you will be mingling with the more competent skiers in this area. Those ready to step up can try Painted Horse or Kokopelli for less challenging blue trails, or venture down Chicane and into the Colony for some meandering blues. On this side of the resort, you'll be straight into the blue trails once you leave the learning area.
The adventure zones marked on the map tend to be gentle green or blue trails, relatively tame and with limited activation or features. Kids with skills may find Tunnel of Fun and Pinball Alley a little more exciting. For the intermediate skier, this is a resort for exploring. There are a few gentle blues perfect for building confidence off Saddleback Express, while Sunpeak Express has a few longer and steeper blue trails. Tombstone Express provides access to some long blues that meander through the colony. The blue trails off Iron Mountain Express have some steeper pitches and are more challenging.
There are a few shorter gentle blues off Dreamscape and Daybreak, both slow fixed grip lifts. Over on the Park City side, King Con Express provides access to some short consistent blue trails like Liberty and Eureka. The rolling blues like Parley's Peak and Hidden Splendor off Silverlode and Motherlode lifts are great for carving turns, while Jonesy's and Payday are enjoyable long groomers. intermediate skiers looking to level up can test their skills on short black trails like Widowmaker, Silver Skis, or Lost Prospector. On the canyon side, Heavy Metal and Ironman are short black trails, while Phantasm and Boogeyman are longer but not overly steep advanced trails.
Advanced skiers will find trail and tree areas across both resorts, but most of the technical skiing is relatively short and has a blue or green run out back to the left. Super Condor provides advanced terrain away from the crowds, but the lower elevation and southerly aspect of the technical terrain can make for some sketchy conditions. It was all closed during our visit. The advanced trails along the ridgeline off Saddleback and Tombstone Express like Cloud9 and Elk Ridge are decently long with a consistent pitch, while the gladed areas like Gallery and Grande provide short, punchy technical terrain. The 9990 Express provides access to some great technical trails, but those with a northerly aspect and better snow require 2 lift rides to get back up. Fool's Gold and Double Jack are enjoyable black trails off Motherlode Express, while Prospector provides a steep groomer for a short glimpse of European skiing.
McConkey's Express provides access to some enjoyable trails and trees like Sundog and Black Forest. The best technical skiing away from the crowds is off the Jupiter lift. The slow 2-chair provides access to technical trails like Warzone and Portuguese Gap. And, with a bit of hiking, there's lots of technical trails to enjoy in this area. The main terrain parks are on the lower slopes of Park City, like Pick and Shovel, with Little Kings providing some small features at Mid-Mountain. Transitions provides an array of features over on the canyon side of the resort.
There are a few things to be aware of for Park City. Snow conditions can vary significantly across the resort due to the elevation gain and the aspect of some areas. The lifts tend to run up the ridgeline, so trails on the right tend to face north and those on the left south, resulting in very different snow conditions. While the average snowfall is 355 inches, Utah has some years where more than 600 inches is received, which further impacts snow conditions on mountain and can make Parley's Canyon on I-80 a white-knuckle lesson in highway driving.
Expect the base areas to be busy and early morning queues for the main lifts, as it takes some time to move the huge volume of skiers up the mountain. The new Sunrise Gondola should help alleviate the canyon's base area congestion. Moving from Park City to canyons, or vice versa, takes time. The Quicksilver Gondola provides the connection between the two ski areas, while Over and Out and Timberline are slow traversing lifts. They're often the quickest way across the canyon side of the resort. Skiing your way across canyons requires riding and skiing multiple lifts and trails.
Expect queues at Iron Mountain and Silverlode as the main bottlenecks for patrons crossing between the resorts. Tombstone and Saddleback can have queues due to the volume of traffic funneled to these parts of the mountain. At this resort, the mix of express and slow fixed grip lifts means you need some patience for either the queue or the slow lift ride. Setting an elevation PB at Park City will take some skill, planning, and luck. When conditions are good, skiing the lower slopes once patrons are spread out across the resort can be a way to avoid lift queues.
It's also worth noting there are lots of traversing trails or valley runs that end up being funnel points. The traffic along Chicane, Cascade, Thames Canyon, and Lower Home Run will make European skiers feel like they never left home. The resort is busy during holiday periods and on weekends since Salt Lake City is just round the corner. Accommodation may be impossible to find during Sundance Film Festival, but the resort is surprisingly quiet over this period. On a clear day, the view from McConkey's is great, but there's only one blue trail down. Getting the full view from 9990 requires a short hike to the summit, but there are only technical trails back down.
The snow off Jupiter lift is often the best on the mountain due to the elevation and aspect of these trails. It is also often the quietest part of the resort, while Dreamscape and Daybreak provide access to some great intermediate terrain that may be less crowded on busy days. The terrain at Park City is spread across multiple ridges and valleys, providing an opportunity to escape most bad weather. However, if it's an easterly, there are few places to hide. Most of the skiing is below tree line, so when visibility is low, at least there are reference points to guide you down.
The Mountain Coaster and Flying Eagle Zipline provide some alternative activities if a break from skiing is needed.
The lodging options at Park City are comprehensive with extensive development of the villages over the last few decades. There are ski in, ski out options at both Park City and Canyons, while the Canyons has mountain homes for the 1%. If you want to be more connected to town or are focused on the steep technical skiing, then staying on the Park City side may suit you better. If you're seeking a village resort feeling and quicker access up the mountain in the morning, then Canyons has you covered.
There are plenty of restaurants and shops along with nearby supermarkets in both Park City and Canyons. If you're staying a little further from base, there is a bus service in the village. Free parking is limited, especially on weekends. Park City is a reasonably sized town, so there are plenty of activities and facilities for rest days and non-skiers.
In our opinion, Park City is a resort for confident beginners or intermediates looking to explore the mountain. The mix of express and slow fixed grip lifts along with the weekend crowds can detract from the overall experience. Advanced skiers will find challenging terrain across the resort and a few areas on the higher slopes where they can escape the crowds.
The snow quality and mix of terrain make it hard not to enjoy Park City. This is a big resort where you can find yourself skiing new trails even after multiple visits. Check out our trail and lift videos to get the most out of your visit to this resort.